Hey, how you doing, boys and girls? I'm back again with another video. I missed you guys, man. I always do. So, sorry about my lighting. It's not so on and stuff, but it's all about the message, baby. I just need you guys to hear what I'm saying, understand it, and apply it to your life where you can. So with today's topic, good news from Mr. Red is that today is the day we are going to be talking facts. Because in all my videos, I got tips, I've got hints and tricks, things I've been on about, things I've been through, that you can relate to, whatever the case may be. But with today's video, I said, what? I want my viewers and listeners to get real with themselves. This is an exercise that I did myself. And sometimes you need to sit down, guys. We're not talking about meditation. We're not talking about putting in the hard work, all that motivational stuff. I need you to sit down and just think for a second, whether it's in a quiet place, but definitely it helps when there's no moving around. You don't want any kids to be jumping on you whilst you're thinking about this. You need to think about your life, guys. And what I mean by think about your life, I need you to think about the facts. The facts about you, the facts about everything around you and your belief system or whatever the case may be. So a good example may be, do you see yourself ever making that first million? Like, you just have to sort of sit down at some point and think about your habits. Think about your supporting team. Think about your family. Think about the hustle you're pushing. Think about the country you're in, the town you're in. Think about the level of commitment you have in actually being successful and actually just making the decision that, according to what this guy just said and what I've been through and how my last 5 years have been, and I'm looking to the left, to the right, the friends I have, the type of family members I have, the current hustle I'm pushing, I do not see myself making $1 million in the next 5 years. And that's exactly what today's video is about. I need you to start being real with yourself. If you haven't been real with yourself before, this is it. I'm telling you, man, this is it. This is the video that you are going to watch or pause whenever you feel like and actually just think to yourself, like, let me think about what this guy is saying. Let me look at my last 5 years, my last 6 years. Let me look at what has changed. Let me look at my habits. Am I really going to suddenly just be a millionaire in the next 5 years with my last 5 being so bad? I lived paycheck to paycheck for the last, 36 months, 48 months, 3-4 years you've been living paycheck to paycheck. How is it that you are going to make $1 million all of a sudden in the next 2 years? With this video, we're trying to get you to be real with yourself and actually understand that based on your current thinking capacity, based on your current habits that you've been pushing for the last 3-5 years that you're still having right now, based on the supporting cast that you have, the useless friends that are not motivating you, always want to hang out with you on the weekend, the girls that you keep chasing, they don't add to your life, based on everything around you and who you are, you can finally admit to yourself during this video or by the end of this video that, looking at all the scorecards around me, to 10 being I can make $1 million or make over $1 million, I'm scoring a good 4.3 out of 10. I'm scoring a good 2.0 out of 10. There is nothing in my life currently that is propelling me to being a millionaire or making my first $1 million. That's what this video is about. I need you to look at yourself and those around you and your current habits and score yourself out of 10 and think about what are the odds of you making your first million in the next year or 2 or 5. This is something that I've thought about, because we listen to these motivational speakers, we watch all these things about self-development, we think we are saving enough, we eat up those savings, we go job to job, we are just survivors. And I know a lot of you can relate to this video because a majority of us, including myself, we are survivors. We are just trying to get to the next paycheck, baby. And that won't cut it, guys. That will not cut it. Speaking from someone who's been through it. I lived paycheck to paycheck. I still do. But what I realized that I had to do was I had to make some side hustles. And they really help, guys. I had to start a small business. It really helps. But most of all, I had to change my thinking. And I had to change my habits. And that allowed me to start saving more than I even thought I did. For my guys out there, you think you are saving? You think you are saving with the girls that you keep chasing, with the bad habits you keep having, all the money that you're blowing on the weekends? You think that $500 per month saving, for example, is good enough? You do not want to see, which in this case, I want you to see, how much you would actually save if you switched up the habits and you cut out the girls. You'd be amazed that from the $500 that you really had to squeeze yourself to try and save, all of a sudden, with a couple of tweaks in the way you live your life and those around you, all of a sudden you can save $2,000 per month. You know what I mean? All because you sat down, you said to yourself, how hard can it be for me to save 50K? What would I have to do to save 50K for these next 6 months? Which obviously once 50K is done, and then obviously now you got capital to start something. Because that's how you get rich, guys. I'm telling you. Your bank is not always going to give you that capital. Most of y'all, like me, we have to build up our own capital. That will start up our next project that hopefully makes us our first million. You have to be real with yourself that, listen, my bank is not going to give me 100,000. I have no assets. I have nothing they may need from me. I have nothing that I can give to the bank. I have nothing I can sell off to someone. Hell, I don't have anything to put up on Facebook Marketplace. I have to push and grind for that first 50, 100 grand so that I can buy that sort of whatever machine and start that business. Most of us, we have to create our own. We have to create our own capital to start something, guys. Now, I don't know what your number may be. Someone may need 10K, someone may need 20, someone need 50. For me personally, I needed 100. That 100, I had to make it myself. My bank didn't give me nothing. I didn't want to use my parent to help me out, put it together. I knew that I had to save that money. And by changing the habits that I had, it worked, guys. One thing for me, I'm just gonna put it out there. I had to cut out the girls. The whole thing of being a player was cool, being young. But as you get older, you realize that these girls are not really worth it. Bruh, I'm telling you, man. They're not worth it because when you can have those millions, you can have all the girls that you want. And you're all good now because you got 3, 4 cars, you got 2 houses. Anything that happens, you good. You don't work for anyone. Your money is straight. So now you can take heartbreak at whatever level. You don't really care. The girl dumps you, you got another one the next day, you good. But as long as you don't have the millions, you have to be careful how you living your life, guys. You got to be really careful. Because I can tell you right now, a man only has certain amount of time before the depression hits him rock hard. For my girls, they only have their beauty for so long before they can start feeling and saying, you know what, I'm old. I'm not the bad B that I used to be in the club. I can see all the guys moving away from me. It makes sense. I'm 33 now. I used to have a flat stomach at 23. For a man, we don't really expire when it comes to girls, because as long as you get the money and the resources, you can have girls at any time. This is one of the reasons why, as a man, you have to relax at some point and be like, these next 5 to 10 years, I'm getting the money. I'm grinding on my purpose so that when I get to 40, I can afford to have 2, 3, 4 wives, whatever your number may be, or just one, being that guy who can finally feed your family. Because that's the best thing that happens to a man, guys. I'm telling you right now, the man who has kids is able to take care of them, the wife, and the extended family. That's the maximum level of pride. You can ask any poor, middle class, super rich, wealthy individual that the greatest joy that that person can ever have is knowing that he can pay for his children's health care. He can pay for the house, the rental, whatever the case may be. He can support the extended family in times of emergency. He makes rules in the house knowing that he's a breadwinner. That's one of the highlights for a man. A man who can pay bills automatically gets respect. I don't know how respect and money correlate, but in our days, somehow, if you can pay the bills, somehow you get some respect. Unless, of course, you're dealing with entitled kids and a wife, whatever the case may be. But all a man wants in this world is being able to support and pay bills. That makes us feel real good. So what does that mean, guys? It means you have to be real with yourself and say, if I'm ever going to be the man I'm supposed to be, this simply means I have to make sufficient money. You know the number. I don't know what's your number, but for this case, we'll just put $1 million. You need to start thinking that if I'm going to start being the man I'm supposed to be after my first million, how do I get my first million? And that's one of the 8 wonders in this world. The nice thing is that all rich people have put that into books. It's all over social media. You can follow them. Some of them are even willing to be your mentor. It's all over the place nowadays. There's so much information about how you can make your first million out there. You just have to put it to action. Accumulate the information and put it to play. Applied knowledge is everything in this world. So you need to come down to the facts of who you are, of what you do, of what you believe in, of who's your friends, who's your family. And that will give you a scorecard of the odds that you have to make your first million. Once you know you've scored a poor 3 out of 2 out of 10, you can then go back to the drawing board, get real with yourself and say, you know what? This skill I have simply just won't cut it. What do I have to do in order to make my first million? Who do I have to cut off that is derailing me from this mission? You need to start getting real with yourself and think about all that you can become before you become it, collecting the building blocks and saying, you know what? For me to become that, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I have to do for me to get there. And guys, I'm telling you, there's nothing sweeter than getting to your goal, than achieving your goal. No one can tell you nothing. And that's the confidence that makes you move different. All of a sudden, the world is just bigger. The guy who can fly anywhere to the world at any given moment doesn't use an 8 to 5 like the rest of us. That guy's breakfast is more crispy. That guy's smelling of air outside is more fresher. That guy's mentality, the way he thinks, is different, guys. Just knowing you can go to Cape Town whenever you want, you can go to Australia whenever you want, you can go to England, London, New York, wherever you want. People view this world differently, guys. And unfortunately, but fortunately, it's all about the money. So get your facts right. Think about how can you increase your savings? What business can you start? What bad habits can you tweak in order for you to finally save that enough capital for you to go to the next level and push that new business idea that you may have, Because the banks are not all for all of us. We love hiding our money in the bank. For me, I don't hide my money in the bank. I'm a crypto investor, so that's where I keep my cash. But majority keep their money in the bank. And the bank is not about you. The bank don't play those games. The bank wants people with frequent payments, and before they give you any loan, they try to look at, if you're not able to pay this, first of all, do you even qualify? And majority of people just don't, man. The ones that do, they're living their life tight. Those are those middle class people, high bills, looking clean and sexy on the streets. But the bills and the bank loans are all the way up. I've met a lot of people like that. So don't be fooled by that, guys. But anyways, the sole purpose of this video, I want you to think about being real with yourself. What are the odds of you making $1 million in the town that you're in? Perhaps now it's time for you to move cities. Perhaps now it's time for you to move countries. If you can't move countries, perhaps now it's time for you to switch that job, to try and develop a way more demand skill than the one that you have. The harder the skill, the most likely, the more it pays, guys. So you need to start thinking to yourself, you got to be real with yourself, you know what I mean? So the girl that you're with, does she ever do anything for you? Or is she always just blood-sucking and taking away from you? What do you have to lose with that girl who's always sucking your cash and is not even giving you kids, or is not even the mom of your kids? In fact, if that relationship ended today, you'd be saving a whole lot of money for the rest of the year. So with this video, I need you to start being real with yourself and actually just sit down and think about, what is it can I do to get to $1 million? Or what is it that's preventing me from making my first $1 million? Go wonder, guys. Go ponder. Go think about it. This is your life. We do not want you to just be the regular guy waking up to do nothing and looking forward to weekends. We want you to be the head of the house and feel good about it. Every damn Christmas is at your house because the family respects the hustle and the way that you think. The young kids, the nieces, the nephews, they look up to you as the uncle, as the super aunt, because of the discipline that you've imposed over the years. So I need you to be real with yourself and ask yourself, what will it take for you to make that first $1 million or more? What will it take for you to become the uncle, the aunt from all the other aunts? What will it take for you to become the winning sperm, the siblings from all your siblings? What would differentiate you from your brothers and sisters, whereby the parent can look at you one day and say, out of all my kids, man, you're something else, baby. You are something else. You are very, very naughty. You even lost as a kid. I don't know how you did it, but looking at you now, compared to your brother and sister, I love all of you guys, but you are something different. Become that star kid, guys. It's never too late. It's never too late. The KFC guy got successful at 65. Hopefully, God forbid, we're not trying to get rich at 65. But either way, we would take it. But try to fix it now, guys, so that you can potentially become richer sooner. But you have to sacrifice Get real with yourself. What skills do you have? Will that skill make you a millionaire or not? What business do you have? How do you tweak it? If I have no business, what business can I start? You look at your friends. What friends do I have? Who's good? Who's bad? Is this friend willing to help me with my dream? Is this friend only teaching me to sleep with girls and drink? Let me cut them off. You know, you need to look at all of that, guys. This video is just to remind you that for a second, I need you to pause away from the social media, away from work. Obviously, you got to think about it when you're away from work. You know, you got to work and pay the bills. But when you finally get your free time, move away from your wife, move away from your kids, and just think about, is everything I'm doing propelling me to make that X amount of money? Go and think, guys. Go wonder. But all I can say is it's possible. It's 2024. Human beings have been around for a very long time. Let's just say in this case, 1600. Obviously, human beings have been around before that, 1600, 1700, 1800, 1900, 21st century, 600 years. And I'm not counting all the way back. I'm just going to start from 1601. 600 years, guys. There's a lot of millionaires during that 600 years. And you can become one of them. And when you die, there'll be a 600 more that'll be made. You know what I mean? So make your mark in this world, guys. Let us remember you for your discipline and how you tackle that goal, bro. Become the aunt, become the sibling, become the child. You know, be a star in your own town, man. Be a star in your own country. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. You can win, baby. I'm telling you, you can do it. Comment, like, subscribe.